5 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Start with the routine business, Open Meetings Act, posted on the northwest wall for your reading pleasure. Lisa, would you go ahead and call the roll?
Dustin?
Yes.
Heather?
Here.
Brad?
Yes.
And Ken has an excused absence time. We'll call it excused. He didn't give me a note from his parents, but would you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everybody. Move on to the consent agenda. As always, you can pass all the items in the consent agenda with one motion, or you can consider them separately if you have questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Call roll.
Heather?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Dustin?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously. Move on to the mayor's report. We don't think I have anything to report again this month. Do have one appointment to recommend for the ABC, Ainsworth Betterment Committee. This is, of course, we appoint a student each year, a junior for a 2-year term, and I'm recommending Jackson Rucker. I know Jackson a little bit, and I think he'd do a good job there, so that's who I would recommend for that committee.
That'd be 28 instead of 29 on an interim, probably.
I think the 27 was the ending term for her. Oh, geez. I don't know now.
Because he'll graduate
Term would be
in
now.
May of 28, so he
But he's taken
would be here through the summer of 28 potentially. But I'm assuming he's maybe going to go off to school. In the fall of 28.
Yeah, it's for the junior, senior year. I guess I don't remember the exact dates that they,
I think the September 15th trial, I think it's just 28 instead of 29.
I will double check.
yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the mayor's recommendation to appoint Jackson Rutger for the junior student position on the ABC committee with the term ending either 9/15/28 or 9/15/29.
I will second that.
That work, Greg?
Well, I just, he might not be here for that 2029 term, or fall of 28 to 29 term.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Call roll.
Brad?
Yes.
Dustin?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
All right, so we'll let Jackson know whenever the ABC meets. I'm sure he'd be willing to give his opinion, so that's good. Moving on, have a public hearing for the Citizen Advisory Review Committee's 6-month report on the LB 840 program. So I guess we will open that at 5:03. And do we have somebody here from the CART?
I don't see him really, actually. Kristen's here, she was at the meeting
Kristen's
too.
here. I don't know if you were prepared to give a report, Kristen?
I think you guys have all seen the written report. I don't think there were any findings in Marcus reviewed files, so that's always good. There was some activity also in this next one, but it wasn't reviewed. Obviously, we only looked at the last 6 months. So I think the report was very thorough. If anybody has any questions?
Yeah, the only thing for you would be, got a couple of expirations on terms coming up on the loan committee.
Yeah, I saw that in November. We'll get those up to date. And probably no response back from the chamber on there too yet.
I have not heard anything yet.
Yeah, we'll try to keep that committee up to date. Any public comment? It's a public hearing. Anybody here to comment on that, on the Citizens Advisory Review Committee? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and leave that hearing open for a little while. I don't like to only have them go for 2 minutes, so we'll leave it open while we go on with other business, and somebody remind me to close that later on. No old business this month, so on to the regular agenda. First item is to discuss a cooperative agreement between the Ainsworth Fire Department and the Nebraska Forest Service. Devin Painter's here, and
I am here, yes.
Trent,
So recently, we were approached by the Forest Service to consider this. There had been several fires in the state this year that we went to, and had we had this agreement signed, we could have possibly got a truck out and made more money with that truck. We were going anyways. The state rate is $78 an hour. This rate would be substantially more. It would be, in this agreement, you would be able to go out of state if possible with your crew and your truck. And this would be with the city grass rig that we currently own. I kind of gave you guys paperwork. I gave you a sample of what the agreement is. The agreement pretty much states that we're going to follow all our rules, regulations. We're going to have insurance on the equipment, the manpower. It will state in there the price paid for the day for that piece of equipment. And that's what the agreement is for. Saying you're okay that this truck would be able to go out of state or go to these in-state fires that are just a little bigger that are past state management.
yeah, I mean, I've talked with Devin about it a while back. To me, it's, you know, I just don't see any negatives to it. I think all of you have sort of expressed the same thing to me, that it's an opportunity.
Seeing other,
Have to do it.
yeah, seeing other departments around the state that do it in Nebraska, plus outside Nebraska. You know, if we even got 2 deployments out on that truck, there's a good chance that we could actually even lower the city's asking the levy. You know, I think we're at 3 cents now. There is a possibility we can go to 2.5 to 2, which in turn we could actually have the county lower the rural fire board budget accordingly, so we can still be, with the MFO funding, still be able to get that money, be up and bring in more money for the fire department other than tax dollars. There is some departments that are doing this are totally tax-free departments that don't get any money from the taxes. Will we get there? I don't know if we'll ever get that far, you know, it depends, but, you know, this would be a starting point for that.
I guess I don't see why we, it'd be nice to actually have a piece of equipment that's bringing money in instead of something that's always taking money out, especially where you can,
You have
You
people
know.
willing to do it.
you have to have the people willing to do it and take the chance, or, you know.
Are the firefighters paid too, or are they still just volunteers?
They will be paid.
They are paid, okay.
They'll be paid per day.
I mean, as it sits right now, until we know more, I think it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's not gonna be any extra money out of the city, out of the fire department's budget to do this from the city, so it's not gonna cost the city any money. So if it doesn't work out, you know, if we sign the agreement and say, oh, next year we're in red flag warnings, we can take our name off the board and we just won't get called. But if we're wet around here and they're dry over in South Dakota, you know, we put our name on the board and go, but it's not gonna, if it falls through, it's not costing anybody any money by signing the agreement.
I think it also opens some doors for, you know, individuals who are interested in joining the fire department too, kind of an opportunity to get more people
One thing we
involved,
could do is,
potentially.
they have to be red card certified, which is really easy to get. You know, they have to be 18, so maybe some kids out of high school, not sure what they want to do for the summer. They can sign on to us, take 1 or 2 of them at a time with us to get them the training. They get paid good money for doing that, and might, you know, spark a deal on their future on what they want to do.
Some of the other departments in the state that have been doing this, You know, the positive was the money coming into their department. They updated a lot of their equipment. They've got nice equipment now, as well as manpower. As you all know, volunteers are hard to come by. They're getting a lot harder to come by. And these departments that have done this have found that they've gotten a lot more volunteer staff coming in with maybe the possibility of getting to do that as well. So we're hoping that'll help us in turn at the department. Get some younger people that might want to have this opportunity, and they'd help us here as well.
Is this, doesn't matter one way or another, I don't think, but it's with the Nebraska Forest Service. Is it federal money that's funneled through the Nebraska Forest Service that pays for that?
Yes.
The Forest Service is going, all the money is gonna be paid to the Forest Service. They're gonna do all the administrative work, and they take 5%.
Yes.
And then the money will come into the city then. And then the city will put it in our budget and disperse it from there.
Yeah, it'll help the sinking fund maybe,
Yeah.
potentially, is
The hope,
Oh, from the
hopefully we can
city
replace
side.
that city pumper that we need to replace so badly. We can slowly put money into that, help that issue too.
Anybody care to make a motion? I think, what, do I have to sign it? I mean, you'd authorize me to sign it, or what does it need?
So the agreement that you have right now is a sample. They'll change the names, the dates, and the prices will be updated. So those prices are a little low, they'll actually go up. So as soon as, you agree tonight, you vote, you say, yeah, we want to sign it, we'll send it back to the Forest Service and say, hey, we're ready, willing to sign. We'll have to go through and update all that. The names will be Ainsworth, City of Ainsworth, and the prices will change. They'll go up.
So we could, if we had next month, they could approve a final contract then, or whatever.
Whatever you guys want to do. They just need to know that we're willing to sign before they're going to put any time into it.
So it sounds like you just need a motion to proceed, I think.
Well, I'll make a motion to proceed. I don't know what, like with the Nebraska Forest Service, or how do we say that?
Probably Ainsworth Fire Department, City of Ainsworth, go and do an agreement with the Nebraska Forest Service
Okay, I'll make a
for a
motion
contract.
for the City of Ainsworth, I'll say this.
Ainsworth Fire Department,
Ainsworth Fire Department agreement to use the truck.
yeah, use the city
Never
owned truck for the Nebraska Forest Service contract.
Maybe you should make the motion. I don't know what I'm saying with this fire department.
Okay, I'll make a motion that the City of Ainsworth and the Ainsworth Fire Department go into a contract with the Nebraska Forest Service to use the city-owned fire truck to be on deployment for state and federal fires.
Yeah, I would've never got that, but I'll second
Second. Are you sure you know your second?
that. I know what I'm second.
Got a motion and a second, any other
Never worded that one.
discussion? Go ahead and call the roll.
Dustin,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Brad.
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously. Next item is to discuss the Ainsworth Municipal Golf Course budget. And Robert McGill's here. Hopefully he's gonna ask for some money to cut tree limbs out of the way.
My club did a good job doing that.
Okay, so I'm Robert McGill, I'm the current board president of the golf course. This is my third year as president of the golf course. Our current budget right now is $22,000 from the city a year. We updated quite a bit of equipment last year with the help of the Brown County Foundation, some fundraising projects, and we also had went to Homestead Bank, and we had got I think it was around a $40,000 loan, and we updated our rental carts. We have one more payment in October on the carts, and then a small payment that we will should have all the money to pay all that off. The reason I'm here though is that you guys have your budget workshops coming up either end of this month or next month. We're looking to see, since all the prices are going up, the rent we have to pay to the airport authority is going up, minimum wage, you know, fertilizer prices, everything is going up. And we've been at the 22,000 budget, I believe, for 3 or for 4 years. And we were gonna see if we would be able to maybe raise that budget to approximately somewhere between 30 and 35. My personal comment, the golf course is probably the most utilized recreational piece of property the city actually owns. We are open to the public. We also have quite a few passerbys that stop in and utilize the golf course. We do know that this coming winter, we have a couple sets of reels that go on certain mowers, like fairway mowers, that need to be redone. And we're looking there, probably an extra 6,000 to 7,000 that is gonna cost to update that. So that's kind of what I'm here for, just to kind of get in your guys' ear of maybe increasing that budget. And then my final thing, I had talked to Vance Hire at Homestead, and I had talked to Marcus at West Plains, but I need to go talk to Kent or something. If we were to do another option, because we do need an update on a couple greens mowers and a couple rough mowers, but with the city owning all the property that's out there, you know, it's hard for our association to go in and say, hey, can we get a loan when the city owns all the equipment? So I guess my other question is, if after we pay this note off here in a couple months, if we were to go in to possibly borrow more money to update that equipment that is needed, if we have the, I guess the okay to be able to use the city's equipment at the golf course as collateral, and or if it would be an option of the association maybe setting up some kind of a loan agreement to the city instead of having to pay interest, since it is city-owned property, city-owned equipment that we're buying anyway, to where, you know, if we need to borrow 60,000 and base it over 4 years and we make an October payment back to the city, if that is something that we could do as well, if there would be like a sinking fund or some kind of a fund that we could borrow like a one-time every 4 years to update, and then the association in our yearly budget would budget the money to make sure that we can pay the city back. You know, it'd be better in the fall, like the September, October. That way we have a whole season to create revenue and then actually have that budget money to repay back on the equipment. So that's kind of the main reason I'm here, and just gonna get your guys' ideas.
As far as stuff like that, we probably have to ask our accountant how we can probably do that, wouldn't we? As far as where the city owns the money and the borrowers against it, we'd almost have to, I'd almost think that we'd have to have our name on the loan for security purposes of itself, which it could be, I think it can be done, but I think the cleanest way to probably ask our accountant on how we can do that, the cleanest.
Investigate.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to what you're wanting to do, I'm not, I just trying to figure out what's the right way to do that. The money flow, because where you start, when you lose taxpayer dollars, you gotta really watch that flow.
Because the main reason I like doing the second thing I mentioned was to save the association, whatever, you know, the interest rate. I think the Homestead gave us a pretty good deal. I think when we had to borrow the money, because that loan is under actually the association, but Vance kind of made the comment that, you know, if you want to borrow a little bit more than that, then, you know, we're gonna have to get some actual collateral, which he said, the golf course equipment, which is mowers and stuff that are out there, is substantial enough, but the association doesn't own it. The city owns everything that's out there.
Because you guys don't carry your own tax number or any
We do have our own
EIN number and
yes,
stuff like that?
because we're a 501c6.
Okay.
But on anything that we buy, since it is a city-owned golf course, all the equipment we buy, no matter if the association comes up with the money or like this cart deal, we ran the money through the city. The city wrote the check for the golf carts to save the sales tax.
Okay.
Because when it's all at the end of the day, everything out there besides the members' carts is all owned by the city.
What's that? And the city insures it all, yeah, so that's a part of their.
I mean, the biggest thing we're trying to do is keep, because right now our golf course is in immaculate shape because of Paul Hirschmeyer and the staff. And our memberships are up, We are gonna probably increase membership dues, and some other things to get some extra revenue. We did start doing fundraising the last 2 or 3 years. That's helping. But we're also in the process of trying to redo the clubhouse using fundraising and matching. And now we're in the process of rebuilding a cart shed. Well, right now we got an agreement, we're getting people to sign that are members to pay so many years up front for that storage, that way when we build the shed, the money's already there to just do it. You know, that way we don't have to borrow any money, we don't have to ask for money, it'll just be, the only thing that might change is the insurance would go up a little bit, but you guys would also have more asset. So, but that's pretty much what we're trying to do.
Anybody else have questions for Robert, or?
Sounds reasonable.
But I do agree with you that course does look pretty nice. It's pretty nice in course.
We just had a major tournament, there was a 2-day between Bassett and Ainsworth, and there was quite a few members, or not members, players, some from Rapid City area, Omaha, some Iowa, some northern and South Dakota, and they said our golf course right now, the greens are probably playing better than any course in the major cities, as of right now. But the only way we can keep that maintained is having updated equipment.
That ball's still not moving. That ball's still not moving.
Still don't go in?
Well, and Paul is likely to stay if we keep getting newer equipment, so.
And yeah, I'm occasionally out there, and I can say that, the use has been high this year, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what your income, what your books look like, but there's a lot of people out there using it this year.
Yeah, there's a lot.
So you see what we can do with the budget, see if we can use some more money and see what it does.
And then I guess if you guys can discuss on the other deal to figure out, because we should be able to get by this year with the greens mower situation. But if, like, talking to the main dealers that sell them, they're pretty much like, you bet, if you're gonna get one or a good used one or have one rebuilt, we probably better know by October, so we got all winter to do it. So,
I know we probably, by the end of next month, we can kind of figure out our budget. Might take us a little bit longer on an agreement as far as loan or something like that, but that's probably a little bit more thinking on that, on how to do that, but.
Yeah, but
well, when you ask your accountant about that loan deal of inside money, can you also ask, or however you gotta figure it out, if that is not feasible, that the association would have the permission to use certain pieces of equipment out at the golf course, to use as collateral to update certain machines, as long as the association pays the yearly banknote off?
I don't think, even though we bought the machines where there's no really serial number and they're not tracked that way, it shouldn't make any difference.
Well, there are serial numbers.
There's
in
serial
there.
numbers, but we don't have, like, yeah, for insurance purposes,
So,
Yeah, but appreciate you coming in now. This is the time to talk about it, because at the end of the month, we have our budget workshop, the 24th, I think, of August, so that'll be, at least we have a heads up we can look at.
perfect. Thank you.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
All right, next item on the agenda is discuss the Sellers Park Museum. I think there's several folks here, they got a little update on things that are going on.
Thank you. That's probably today's pictures from our rain last night.
No, that was actually, we got that like at 2.5 So I guess what we, the first page is gonna show kind of what our expenses are going to be. The number 3 is Wicket Construction, and the original estimate on that was $47,154. But after we talked to Tim Denny, he said those shingles on the east end of the building are in good shape. He put them on probably about 8 years ago, and he said shakes usually last 20 to 30 years, so he really didn't see any reason to replace those shakes. I mean, because they're in good enough shape that he thought they'd last another 20 years. And then on the second page, we have our income that we gathered up. The ABC, I think tonight you guys have to approve, the ABC committee approved the $50,000, but they said that you guys have to approve it, but we kind of put that in there, so. So basically, we have enough money to go ahead and get started on it.
Good job.
But there's one, we would like to start right away, because Wickett's Construction out of Valentine said they could still do it this year if we got it in right away. I mean, if we asked them to do it right away, they thought they could still do it this year. And if we don't do it this year, that cabin is gonna have to get winterized, because there's holes in it where mice and snakes and everything else can get in there, so.
Did they say from the time they get started, how long it was gonna take them to complete it?
No, they didn't,
They-
no.
okay.
I guess I didn't ask them that, so. What we were wondering was if we could use that, consider this to be an emergency situation that, outlined in the, what do I want to say, the city ordinances. It's in D, in section 1, 615, or it says if it's an emergency to the property, that you could do this first part without getting a bid. And that would just be the original log cabin is what we're wanting to get done this year.
And we did put a copy of that ordinance on the very last page. There's copies of all the estimates and also the one that we broke the shingles out of. And then that ordinance is on the very last page.
When we went up there, Cindy and I went up there after we got that rain, and there was just water coming in everywhere. It wasn't just, one spot, it was just,
And starting to go through into the other cabin too, and it was on the floor and,
another thing that we kind of recommend is, we wanted to put a door in between the original log cabin and that addition, so that that door's on there when they tear off that north part, so we don't have to worry about, I mean, they could put it on that day or whatever, but we were wondering if that money for that door, we figured around $1,000 for that door, if, we were thinking of Lynn Salt building the door to match the other door that's in the original log cabin. And, we were hoping that just would come out of the budget that we had last year that we didn't spend because we never had employees in there. So that money still should be in the budget for that, I think.
So the money for the budget for this last has to spend this month, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually it probably does, doesn't it?
What's that?
Yeah, it probably does, don't it?
Yeah. It all goes back in, so after
I
this.
don't know what that is. Have you talked to any other construction companies or anything, got any other quotes at all?
No, because they said we needed to get an estimate, and we, they just, the reason we went with Wickett's is Lynn Saul has that mill north of Ainsworth here, and he recommended Wickett's because they worked on that log cabin up in Valentine, and so they're familiar with. Lynn said he would like to do it, but he just can't do it by himself, and so he recommended Wickett's, and then he's going to work with Wickett's, supply the logs, and I think if he could, he was going to help with some of the work.
Makes this, I get it, this project's been going on for years, so I don't know if the whole emergency thing qualifies per se, and I don't wanna get in trouble, I don't know how that all works. For not doing, being over a certain amount, not going out and getting estimates. I mean, you were here a couple months ago saying this has been going on for 10 years.
Right.
So, not that I don't wanna get it done as soon as possible like everybody else, I just.
But if we gotta put it out for bids, that's gonna take another month, and then it's gonna be too late that we're not gonna be able to get it done this year, is what we're worried about. And
That's what, I get that.
and if we don't do it, it's just gonna get worse, and then you're still gonna have to winterize it and put some money into plugging up some of those holes so not so much stuff can come into it, so.
The thing of it is, it takes a very special set of skills to do what they're gonna do. And it's not like every carpenter or, you know, every company can do this. Wickets can, they've done it before. So even if you did put it out for bids, I don't know who's gonna, you know, I don't know who's gonna bid it. There just isn't that, there just aren't people out there that have the expertise and are willing to tackle this kind of project, so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it, I don't know if I would be comfortable doing anything without talking to like the city attorney or whatever, because I'm not, me personally, I'm not gonna get in trouble for this. Like if it doesn't actually qualify as an emergency, or if it does, then why not, let them do it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I know we used to do single source contracting when you had something like this where there's only one guy out there that can do the work, but there's also special hoops you had to jump through to use that when I was with the state or the feds. I assume similar stuff may apply to the state or the city. What is the advertising requirement?
7 days prior to the bid closing in a newspaper, published in circulation in the city.
It's only a week?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't take long to go through that process. Because you can advertise for bids, and if you only get, if fewer than, or two are received, the council looks like you can approve.
And we could have a special, we would have to have a special meeting then.
Well, we're already doing a budget meeting.
Yeah.
Advertise on the newspaper, but you can put it on the site.
I'm not trying to slow you down or like that, I'm just,
Well, I had the same thoughts, Dustin.
oh, okay, so I'm not talking one.
About checking with with our attorney at least and say, hey, is this an emergency? Because it has been.
Right.
I mean, it has been ongoing, the mold and stuff, but the holes in the chinking and the roof leaking hasn't been going on. I mean, the roof is in bad shape, and I don't know what you're gonna do if that roof falls in. I mean, I don't know if it will, but you know what I'm saying, it's not, the mold and the mildew has been going on for years. But the leaking, I don't know how long it's been leaking. And the holes in the chinking, I don't know how long that's been either. I mean, you know, so.
Yeah, I know when we looked at it this summer, I mean, we could tell that there had been leaking
Right.
coming in through the ceiling, and then there was that kind of gaping hole in the side of the building.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
gonna
yeah.
take a lot of fixing.
But you already have one contractor saying to replace it all, and you have another contractor saying, no, this is good, but this is not.
Well, no, they looked at
Or what do you?
the north edition, it was, they looked at the logs, and the logs on the south, on the original log cabin, the two logs on the bottom are rotted through. And those were the ones that they want to replace. On the north edition, they had said that we thought that the logs were in bad shape because there's holes in them. But when Wickets come and looked at it, or Lynn Saul come and looked at it, he said you could fix them, but with epoxy, he'd fill them in with epoxy. But then when we had someone come and look at the basement to fix the basement, they said, they're the ones that said they'd have to put in a sump pump and do all this work, and that was $37,500. So because that was so expensive, we decided not to go with the north edition, basically because the basement was in bad shape and it cost too much to fix the basement. Wickets had said they could fix the log cabin, and they could fix the log cabin. It was the basement that put that money, because that $47,000 was to fix that. Oh, that was for the East Building. I don't remember what the,
I don't remember what that is.
but that log, they could fix the log cabin on the north end. We'd still
I was
have,
talking about whatever the roof thing was. You said that Tim Denny said you didn't need to replace it, but somebody else said you did need to replace it.
no,
Or
No.
not?
no. When we first started doing this, we got a bid on each section of the shingles. And then, so that we knew how much it was gonna cost to replace all the shakes. And then we talked to Tim Denny, And he said those shakes on the east end are only 8 years old, so those should last a long time. The other ones just kind of gave us an estimate on what it would cost to replace them. They didn't say if they were good or bad, they just said this is what it would cost to replace the shake.
Did Wickets give you any idea, if you called them tomorrow and said, yep, it's approved, when would you expect they would start work?
Well,
Did
I
they give
told,
you any idea?
no, because they went ahead and, when we talked to them earlier, they went ahead and accepted more jobs. And when I talked to them yesterday, they said they had accepted more jobs, but they thought they could still do this one. And so, but we can't expect them to not accept more jobs, so,
Right.
and so they really didn't give me a timeline because I didn't know if we'd get approval or not. I mean, I could call them tomorrow and find out,
I was just asking that in terms of if we did have to wait a week, we might be able to do what we needed to do to follow the procedures and not affect their timeline at all. They might not be here till September 20th.
Right,
or whatever.
right.
That's
We
true.
can be done
Yes.
with that stuff.
True.
Yes. Yeah, I just told them we would let them know as soon as we could, and so that's kind of what they're going off of,
Sure.
Some of the stuff they have to order, so they needed time, to order some of this stuff too, and so it's probably gonna be a month, because by the time they order stuff and get it, it's probably gonna be a month, at least.
Yeah, there's always time lags and
Yes.
delays and
Yes,
parts, waiting for parts, and et cetera. And that's, most contractors, they're booked out their way, so that's
Right.
why I wondered, well, maybe
Yeah.
we have a little time to make sure we follow the procedures.
Would you have specs created if they did that? And, because you would need specs, right, on the scope of the work to advertise. And then if they do go that route, you just call Wicket, make sure they submit it formally.
Yeah, you can invite bids, once you've advertised.
And they probably will be the only bidder, but it allows for that then.
right.
I'm guessing they'd be the only bidder.
Now, like you want specs, where would you get your specs from? Would you get them from Wicked? Or,
Whatever scope of work you're looking, are you looking for them to repair logs, repair the roof, fix it all?
Typically, we write those ourselves.
okay,
With
okay.
what, it's kind of the compilation of all of the conversations that you've had.
Okay,
Basically, we itemize out basically everything they've estimated.
okay,
You've already got basically a start here, I
Okay.
guess. In my mind.
Yeah.
Basically, whatever you want fixed, you're gonna fix this with this or comparable,
okay,
like a list of,
It's just,
I can think of it as like, when we did the pickleball court, I sat down with Lisa and said, okay, LED lights this big is what I recommended, what the lighting guy's recommending.
yeah,
This style of fence, this gauge, blah, blah, blah. So everybody's, bidding the same, apples to apples,
okay,
per se.
it's just, basically, you just create a list of all the work that you want done and then kind of detail out the specificities of what that work needs to entail.
now, in the bid, they said that they needed, or in the estimate, they said they needed 2 logs. So would you need the size of those logs then, or,
It would be,
Or
Probably
could you
come up
just
and
say-
look at it.
I think they have to come up and be like, hey, you need to repair these two
okay,
this much, and then whatever logs they figure that out.
okay,
Yeah, we can figure, and I can help you with that.
Okay.
We can work on that together.
okay,
I've done it a handful of times, so.
okay. Because I have no clue.
Like I said, I think from the stuff they turned in, we had a really big head start.
Yeah, I think we could probably do it in an hour or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I have apprehensions about calling it an emergency, since we've seen, we know that it was leaking months ago.
Yeah.
So I think that's my hang up on the emergency ordinance part of it.
Not that I don't want to get it done as soon as possible.
Yes.
Just, I feel that there's probably a procedure that we should.
Yeah, to Joel's point too, I think we could probably do that fairly quickly and still meet a timeline without, and then,
Because we could still meet it could still be published in next week's paper.
Okay.
Yes.
Friday at noon.
Okay.
Not very
strict on either, so.
Well, I'm getting the sense that's the direction you'd like to go.
Not unless somebody tells me something, that we can do something different, but as it sits right now, I don't feel like.
Might be our quickest way if, we could wait and see what our attorney says, but that might prolong it longer, so I think the direction you guys are talking about going is probably the correct direction, the quickest direction, to make us all feel like we're following the rules correctly, without coming back and biting us in the butt.
So now would you put the whole thing out for bid or just the original log cabin? I mean,
Whatever I guess you want to fix,
we want everything fixed. So that would include,
over a certain amount, right? If it's gonna be, like
Well-
whatever door is
You probably don't have to bid that one.
down, bid that one out, but
The only one that's over $30,000 is the only one you'd have to bid out.
is it over 30 or I thought it was over 10?
Well, I think you're bidding, and it's a whole project, it makes sense to bid it, the whole thing. You could-
I think, yeah.
It's kind of like the pickleball project, I guess I would say, where you can bid it all as a general, or you can bid certain portions.
would you want to separate out the environmental services though? Because we already kind of had someone already come and look at that.
And again, I think we would just invite everybody's name and
Okay.
estimate to bid.
Okay.
That kind of gives everybody
Yeah, if you do the whole project, some companies can just bid portions of that, right?
yeah,
They
they
don't-
could bid A, B, or C, or they could bid the whole thing
Yeah.
as a general,
Okay.
and then sub out the.
Now the HVAC, that is going to be, when we talk to Pro Electric, that would be a mini split. He thought that was the way to go and put a unit in each, like in the original log cabin and then have one unit outside. He said that way you wouldn't have to put the ductwork and everything through the logs. He said that would be kind of hard to do, And he looked up in the attic and he said he could do a lot of stuff in the attic that he could make it look good for them.
So that's kind of what you would, then that's what you expect for the heating and air or whatever, is whatever you guys discuss.
Okay.
What thought would be best, like any splits, blah, 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 this
Okay.
many tons, or I don't know how that all works. But,
Okay,
yeah, it'd be that kind of same specs.
okay.
So do we need a motion to put it out for bid, or can we just have?
I think it's helpful if, I guess, in principle, the concept they have here is you support this concept, and then we can work together on creating the spec and getting it bid out. But I think for us, it's all helpful if we know everybody's on board with everything that's here. Because it pretty well lies out on project.
Yeah, it looks like they've done the work to get the money lined up, I think. I don't know why we wouldn't want to move forward.
Anybody wanted to make a motion to move forward
Actually,
with
need a
the
motion?
proposal?
Let's see if I can get this right.
You're good, so good on the fire.
I don't work that out. I make a motion to allow the Barton Museum Board to sit with Lisa and put together specs for a bid to redo the museum and have it back in 10 days? Is that?
Enough time to suffice the,
We'll have it back by August 24th.
Because it will
You want bids
publish.
back by 24th, or just published by then?
Well, how do you want to do that? because,
So the meeting publishes the 12th or the 19th.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
and
we
is
don't
there
know when they're
amount
gonna
of
be able to
time
get
that
to
they
it, so
have to-
let's do a
the
month
bids have to
at the
be-
next meeting.
As-
we
How
don't wanna
how
wait
about
on
just
that.
as soon
Can't
as
wait that
the
Bids,
deadlines?
because we went to have a special meeting and then do, okay, the bids in. Okay,
Those are
We
easy.
would have to advertise that as well, but we could advertise it at the same time.
okay. And have a special meeting when the bids are accepted, for what, 10 days for the bids?
Lisa, do you know how long from the time of publication, is there a timeline you have to leave bids open for them to? I
No,
don't know
because
if
it's
there is or
all,
not.
we're not using any state or federal funds or anything,
So you don't have to leave
I
bids
don't
open
think
a
there's a
certain
required
time.
time on that.
So if it published the 19th, is that right?
Yeah. So just at least 7 days prior to the
So you'd want to leave it open a week, probably.
She gets ready to accept it by 5 PM, that'd be 20. 26.
Yeah, have 2 meetings in 1 week.
Yeah, that's fine.
It won't be a 5-minute meeting, I mean.
Well,
And have the bids back by August 26th, is that right? 26th
That'd
at
be
5
7 days
PM.
a week.
Did you get that motion?
That's why I recorded.
Gotta play that baby back.
3 or 4
I had a lot of
times.
jumble, I had a lot of jumble in there. You get the gist.
We got a motion to proceed.
Okay, I'll second.
I'm gonna.
Can I say something? I'm chairman of the ABC committee, and they came to our committee with the proposal. It seemed well thought out. They had talked to all the people that were involved with the reconstruction and the remodeling and everything. As I see it, the only question to you is to approve the $50,000 or not, yes or no, for them to proceed. They've done the work, they're satisfied with the numbers. Either approve or disapprove the 50 and let it go. Let them handle the rest of it.
That's the next agenda item,
We haven't
right?
gotten to that part yet.
Can I add to that, because they came to our lodging committee, and I just have to say that they're pretty organized in their approval, and time is of the essence.
Yeah, I wish it was that simple, Dave, but I don't think it is. I mean, I'm confident we're gonna approve the ABC grant and the money's secured, but when it's public property, you still have to go through the processes that are in place.
So all the due diligence they've done is for naught?
No.
That's not what we're
They've
saying.
laid the groundwork, they've done,
This is the most encouraging thing I've heard in the last umpteen years or 4 years I've been on the council about this museum.
They're literally statutorily required to bid it. That's the only thing. It's not that they don't, they're
We'd like to get around
statutorily
it, but we
required to
can't.
bid it.
Yeah.
We like to get around it, but I don't think we can legally. I'd hate to get this all started and then somebody come in and say, somebody in the audience say, you did this wrong, and then we have to stop and figure all that out and then really delay it. I think by waiting 2 weeks is gonna protect us from a stoppage in the middle of construction.
Yeah, it's not worth,
Potential.
it's not worth that
Potential.
risk.
Just ask the governor right now.
What did he do lately?
Yeah, I think everybody
going
up
through
here
the
wants to
exact
see
same
this get
thing.
it
He's in
A lot higher
done
than
and do
your
it,
project.
the quickest we can, but like I said, I don't want to say, yes, go ahead and do it, and then somebody come back and say, you did that wrong, so we have to stop. And that's gonna take forever to clear that up.
Yeah, I think we
And that could
will.
be a member of the public, that could also be somebody, I would have bid that, why, that's a public contract, I wanted a chance to bid it, and I didn't get that chance. They're required to, that's what it boils down to.
I like to say, yep, call them tomorrow and start working on it tomorrow, but
I think
we
we all
can't
would.
do that.
Trust me, there's a lot of projects and things I wish we could just, one thing I've had to learn here is patience.
So instead of reserves.
Well, like I say, nobody's gonna start on it in 2 weeks anyway, so if we can clear up the legal part of it in 2 weeks or so, that's not going to delay anything.
And I could almost, get a hold of that Wickets and say, hey, this is probably gonna go through.
keep us on your list.
Yes, keep you on your list and say, hey, when's the earliest you can get here?
Okay,
And I really do think by the time they're able to get here, all of our work is gonna be done.
okay.
So will they have to submit an official bid, or is this already good enough?
No,
They'll have to submit.
Yeah.
But they'll have it all.
Danny,
right,
I would
They'll have it
encourage,
all
I would
done.
encourage your group, whoever you've talked to and you've got those estimates from, call them back and let them know that they do have to submit bids. So just make
Once
sure
you,
they're
once you
aware.
get the specs, sit down and get the specs with Lisa and get it all official, I would then call the people that you had talked to originally and say, here's the specs, we're making an official bid, whatever, doing our, I mean, we as a council, we're doing our
You can
due
email them
diligence.
to them and just
Yeah,
have them right away.
It's no different than, when we did the pickleball court. We had all this preliminary stuff, basically exact same as you guys did here. Flooring, concrete, all this other stuff. Went out and got all this information so we could know kind of where the starting point. And then we went and got the bids and called all these people and sent all this stuff out to them and said, hey, you know, bid the electrical, the concrete, the fencing, the core.
Basically, anybody you know that you think might want to make a bid, you just reach out to them and forward them the package and invite them to submit a bid.
And we'll put it in the paper, and it's up to them to read the paper or not, and if they don't, whatever.
Right.
If you get one bid back from each one,
Yeah,
that's all we need.
I can
Yeah.
help you with all of that.
Okay.
And Wicket's already, yeah, they basically already got their bid. They might want to update a couple numbers, but they got it. The work is done for them.
And to submit a bid, do they have to, like, can they email it to you, or do they need to mail it?
Typically, it's a sealed bid.
Sealed.
Okay,
Sealed bid. And we'll put that on the advertisement, so they know exactly
Okay.
how to. We'll
well, I mean,
create a
like,
form and they-
Norfolk, they're probably not gonna read the answer papers, so, like, if I
But we'll,
call,
we'll
just
send
gotta
it to
meet.
them.
you'll send it to, okay, okay,
So they'll have, yeah, we'll go through all.
okay, okay.
So if the, like the HVAC part of it, can you separate that out, or you
Yes.
still, and that's under 30, so do you even have to get a bid for that, or
I
can
think
we?
if we're doing one, we do it all.
Okay.
Cause see, if you separate it out, the only thing we'd really need to bid on is the original cabin. Cause everything else is under your 30,000.
Well, because your total project cost is 116. So if
Right.
you're bidding the whole thing, I mean, if you're doing the whole project, then you bid the whole project, but you can bid it in chunks. You can bid
What different people can bid.
section
bid
A, B,
different things.
C, or you can bid the whole shebang. And
I think
we
you're
can
gonna-
go through
I think
that
you're
when
gonna
we
have to
sit down.
give everybody that, because there might be, I mean, I don't, this, there might be a company that would be willing to do everything. I highly doubt that you're gonna see that here, but like back here in eastern Nebraska, there'd be general contractors all over that would bid the whole thing.
Right,
And then they would get their subs,
they sublet or whatever.
and that's kind of what we're offering, that,
It
so I think.
offers the opportunity, but they can bid it separately as well. And then it's up to the city council, when they open the bids, to decide, is it better to go the whole way, or is it better to piece it out, you know, what's the most?
Because the way it looks, I think everybody that you have listed here are the ones that are gonna probably end up doing it. Because, you know, Wickets are close, and Valentine are close, you know, the next company might be in Omaha or Lincoln or out of state, and their bid, they have to do all their lodging and stuff like that, their bid's gonna be pretty high, even if they even see it to bid it. So I think just protect the city side of it, I bet you're still gonna have those exact same contract that's in here do it anyway.
Well, we kinda wanted to keep it as local as we could, I mean, instead of going, you know,
We can do it.
I think it's a great project, I think we should move forward with it. If you kinda got my motion.
Yeah, and I think from your
I
standpoint,
seconded, sorry.
it makes it, I mean, I would feel more comfortable just having the council do it all at once and not have to come back for each piece at a time. What we're doing, what we're talking about here is approving the whole project, one shot, done. And even though it'll be done piece by piece, they could potentially approve it all in the next month, you know, over the next couple meetings. So then you don't have to come visit us, but you're welcome to come anytime.
so I could call Wicked and say, okay, I'm pretty sure they're gonna go with it, but you need to submit a bid. And just to keep us on your schedule then, so that we can get on your schedule, so that,
You also need to let them know that it's out to the,
yeah, to anybody else that wants to bid, yeah.
whether or not, I don't know if
I
it's
don't feel getting a bid, I really don't.
I don't know.
This is formality that we have to go
Yeah, I
through.
mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't always get a lot of bids for most of the projects. It's usually the few people we've talked to are usually who bid it.
Okay.
Yeah, motion in a second.
We got a motion and a second.
Any other discussion? Go ahead and call the roll. Does everybody know what they're voting on?
Yes.
Okay.
Heather?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Dustin?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously.
I'll be around.
Thank you.
I don't have any days off planned, so anytime you want to stop in.
You want it by Friday though,
So we have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will have to have it by Friday.
So
But
are you busy
I'll be around
tomorrow?
tomorrow.
okay.
And you said bids returned by the 26th, right?
Yes. 5
So-
o'clock to 26th.
We're
Okay.
also having a special meeting apparently.
Yeah.
I'll get it, I'll get into that.
Did we do it on the 24th? Did you make it?
Yeah, because you know.
I know, that's what,
Can't quite.
that's what I said.
Can't quite do it. Well,
Can't quite do
we
it.
can worry out the
All right.
logistics.
Can we meet tomorrow, like at 9:30, 10 o'clock?
Sure.
Would 9:30 be okay?
Sure.
Because I'm supposed to be at Camp Witness at 10 o'clock.
Oh, you're supposed to be at Camp Witness where?
At 10 o'clock, yeah.
You're gonna need more than a half hour.
Yeah, it's gonna take us longer than that.
It's gonna take a couple hours.
Oh, a couple hours. Well, you want to meet at 8? No.
I'm just letting you, like, I love
Okay.
it. Yeah.
So if we meet at 9:30?
Okay, we can at least get started
Okay.
and bring me all the information. you
Okay.
need.
Okay.
Quite a bit here.
I have quite a bit, yes.
All right, moving on. Next item is to discuss a recommendation by the Ainsworth Betterment Committee to provide funding for the Sellers Barton Museum repairs and restoration in the amount of $50,000. Perhaps we've discussed a lot of this already, but,
I move to approve the recommendation by the Ainsworth Betterment Committee to approve funding to the Sellers Barton Museum repairs and restoration in the amount of $50,000.
A second.
motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Brad?
Yes.
Dustin?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously. See, now you can tell me you got most of your funding secured. It's just a matter of going through the processes and getting things going. Next item, discuss and consider LB 840 Loan Committee recommendation to approve the facade application number 26-03 in the amount of $10,000.
Anybody have any questions on the facade?
This is from
Pretty-
last
pretty
meeting, wasn't it? So,
straightforward.
yes, it is.
I move to approve the LB 840 Loan Committee recommendation to approve facade application number 2603 in the amount of $10,000.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Dustin?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
And we're rolling now.
We're spending money now.
Touching.
Next item is consider resolution number 26-04, signing the municipal annual certificate of program compliance for 2026. This was with the roads, right?
Yeah, this is, we do this every year. This is part of basically certifying that we have a street superintendent. The state gives us a $3,000 incentive payment every year if we have a contracted or funding street super. So basically, part of it is we're saying that we do have that in place, and then we also keep all of these records if we do, in case we ever get on.
It's still void, isn't it?
What's that? No, it is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did take that. That's right.
Yes.
They said they were bringing up that bid process when we were going over the ABC application.
So yeah, it's kind of
That was 6 weeks ago.
procedural, I guess I would call it as much as anything. Anybody
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 26-04, signing the municipality annual certification of program compliance of 2026.
Second.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? Go ahead and call the roll.
Heather?
Yes.
Brad?
Yes.
Dustin?
Yes.
Motion carried unanimously. All right. Oh, nobody reminded me, but I'm gonna close the public hearing at 6 PM. Assuming there was nobody here that wanted to have input on the Citizen Advisory Review Committee. Wow, I almost forgot that.
There you go.
So that brings us to our last item, City Administrator Treasurer Report. Lisa, what do you got this month?
Not a whole lot. Phase 2 of pickleball installation is occurring as we speak. That's exciting. This will complete the project. Basically just working on the budget, trying to get everything gathered up and ready for our meeting on the 24th. I was able to fill the open equipment operator position at the street department. We hired Tyson Morrell. So we would like to welcome Tyson to our team.
TYSON,
Morrell.
thank you.
He's a young guy, he's had some experience working with equipment, so I think he'll be a good addition. And Joel and I did meet with the union rep. We had signed that 4-year contract last year? 2 years ago.
Well, the years run together for me.
2 years ago, I think. You know, me too. 2 years ago, I think. And when we did that, we decided that the only thing we were negotiating on an annual basis was the cost of living increase. So we met the other day and kind of discussed where the CPI was at historically over the year. And the recommendation that they made was 4%. I think at the meeting, you and I thought that was fairly reasonable, but we can discuss that more in depth at the workshop. That is what they would like you to consider. And back to the meeting on the 24th again, we had, similarly to what we just talked about, I don't know if you remember, we had the housing rehab community development block grant money that HUD in the state determined was idle, that we weren't spending it fast enough. And there was about I think at that time, $158,000 roughly. And the state asked us to repurpose that money away from the housing program and into a different project. And at that time, that was in 2024, we were doing the downtown revitalization. And so we had agreed with the state to do the lighting improvements downtown. And we didn't spend all of the money. So there's still a little bit of money left over. The state would like us to shed that very quickly, so we're doing a sidewalk improvement project, but because, again, it's a separate use from the lighting, we have to have another hearing and we have to do bids. So we're kind of similarly doing a quick turnaround on that, so we just added that to our agenda on the 24th. So we'll have a special meeting at 4, starting at 4, to do the hearing and open the bids. And you can close your special meeting and then we'll go into the workshop immediately after, if that's okay. I'm guessing it'll just be like another 30 minutes of time to the 24th.
To our all-day.
30 minutes for that?
For a budget? Wow.
Yeah.
For the hearing and the bid opening, not for the budget
Oh,
meeting.
darn.
No, I'm surprised it'll take 30 minutes, but we'll
Well, it
see.
might not. It depends on how long you want to leave the hearing
What she's
open.
saying is it's minute compared to the rest of the day.
Yes, it is minute.
Yeah.
So anyway, just a heads up on that. That's what that's about. We did, Kelsey helped me. We spent a lot of time this last week trying to spec that sidewalk project because we had to go out and measure all of the stretches and.
Is it that just a lot of different places, or?
Well, it's kind of complicated, isn't it? Because, you know, how do you pick and choose? There's a lot of really ill repair sidewalks in town, and we don't have that much money. So as a methodology, we just decided to choose around the school because those are such highly trafficked areas, and there's a pretty long stretch on the south side of the school that's not in great shape. So I talked to Mr. Hafer at the school and kind of gave him a heads up that we might be identifying that stretch, because when they do it, it'll be in the middle of school, obviously, and that will be inconvenient. But he was seemingly okay with that, so it's going to be probably that stretch, and then from the school to the crosswalk signals. And then there's a few other in and around adjacent to the school areas that we identified, and it kind of depends on, you know, start at the top and work your way down until we run out of money or time, depending on the weather. So it's been a kind of a hectic week, yeah, trying to quickly put that together, but Kelsey was very helpful, we got that accomplished, so.
Good. Yeah, I guess I'd just add that Lisa mentioned we met with the union stewards, and it's kind of nice when they come in, and I think the employees are happy. They didn't have any, we asked, did they have any requests? Because no employees come, it was just the folks from, I think they're both from St. Paul area. And they said, no other requests, no complaints, so I think that's good. Try to retain people if you can. I guess that wraps us up, so we're gonna go ahead and adjourn at 6:06. Thanks, everybody.
Good job on that. Good job on that.
These ladies here